From the basketball court at the University of Virginia to the classroom at UNC Chapel Hill, Dr. Deborah Stroman has it all covered. Now this professor and sports business entrepreneur is about to take you to school. It's time for Dishing It Up with Dr. Stroman and the Sports Shop on Buzz Sports Radio.
D-Stro.
Good morning,
Good
friend.
Good morning. Good morning, good people. How are you?
We are great. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. The sun is shining, even though we have rain in front of us. The sun is out. Be cheery and be happy. I'll tell you, one of the most enjoyable things for me, and somewhat sexy, is when men dance. And Errol, I love watching you dance.
So I'm trying to tell you. Hey,
on the low.
if you think you like me and you think I'm sexy, might as well say so.
Doctor. No. You done started something now.
I know.
Teacher's pet. Teacher's pet. No, but for those who have not seen the Errol Reese dance,
talk to him.
He's a singer. He plays a piano and he can dance. Yes. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Dr. Stroman. I appreciate that. You made my. That's definitely.
She made your day.
Made my
day. He
day.
had just told me he can do everything.
Oh, Pam, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it to the next level and let people know that Errol has adorable dimples.
Ooh.
Yes.
Look at he pointing to him. They all right.
Hey, child, get a little close up. Okay. This must be my life coming up. This is your life. Anyway, I appreciate that, D. Thank you so much.
All right, let's get back to the sports world.
There's
a number of things that are happening. I want to lift up a few of them.
Okay.
First off, shout out to the women, Jen Paywall. She's a minor league umpire. She's going to be the first female umpire in Major League Baseball history when she calls the Marlins-Braves game on Saturday. She's been doing the thing in the minors. She's done Triple-A, and she's been doing the spring games as well. So a big shout-out for Jen. Hopefully we will see more women be able to get into that opportunity.
So she's gonna be behind the plate, is what you're saying?
Yes,
that's
gonna be doing it.
Oh wow, that's strong.
That's major.
Yeah,
is major. Yeah, but I've always thought that women, we tend to see things. I won't say better, just in a different way. That'll be helpful.
Oh, okay.
Even in the world of sports.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Here's something. I believe politics is everywhere, but that's a whole nother discussion. You can't run from it. You can't get away from it. But in terms of sports, the German club Fortuna Dusseldorf pulled out of a transfer of an Israel international because of his posts on social media. Sean Weissman, he's made some very, very ugly statements suggesting that there should be violent retaliations for the October 7th attacks. Mm-hmm. And he also liked or shared other social media posts calling for violence against the population of Gaza. And so this club said, you know what? You did fly here. You did go under your medical tests, but we are not going to sign you. Mm. So pay attention to that. Wow. I don't know if more professional teams will bring in the politics to the point where, they say your beliefs do not match our teams, our franchises, our league's values. So there we go there.
That's going to be interesting to see how that develops. So that can open up a whole nother conversation with a lot of people. So that's going to be interesting there. Okay.
Yeah. It makes me think of the Olympics, with the various boycotts by different countries, including ourselves,
right?
When the politics gets involved. Pam, I got you on this one. You didn't mention it. I didn't hear you mention it.
Okay.
But to the entire listening audience, did you all know that Greenville, North Carolina, is going to be featured today on ESPN? The 50 States in 50 Days tour is going to feature.
I just saw something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It runs through August 16th.
Wow.
Ramona Shelburne, who we know, ESPN anchor and broadcaster, she was the former Los Angeles City softball co-player of the year and a 4-year college outfielder for Stanford. And so our All-Stars from the Pitt County Girls Softball League in Winterville, which is 2-0, is going to take on an Asia Pacific League team. They're from Japan. It's going to be at 5 o'clock today. The coverage, again, Little League Softball World Series. It's going to cover some of our biggest teams, our athletes and traditions in North Carolina. There's also going to be some live segments shown from Greenville today from 12 to 1 o'clock. And then if you miss it, they're going to have it on their YouTube channel after the live show.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. We're spotlighting softball in North Carolina. Pam, what do you have to say? I'm hoping they'll put your picture up there.
That's right.
They might do that. That is very exciting to hear.
Yeah, because this is part of the 50 states in 50 days. And I was trying to figure out why they were showing a lot of Carolina basketball stuff on ESPN, and I thought about it. It's the North Carolina
gonna be here,
day, so that's going to be exciting.
That is exciting,
so,
and even more exciting for softball.
And that's going to be on ESPN today, Distro?
Yes,
okay.
ESPN.
Perfect.
And they didn't say ESPNU, ESPN. All the other. They said on the flagship.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
We'll have to watch it and recap it tomorrow.
Wow, that's good stuff there. Yeah,
but it also speaks to the water, the soil, the hospitality, the weather. North Carolina births a lot of great athletes. It's not just basketball. This state is really, really one of the best, I believe, for producing great athletes.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And when you start talking about basketball and football too, just athletes in general. You're right, across the board. It's
somebody was talking about that yesterday. Even like a particular high school, I can't remember which one. They were like, we need to go. I think it was for football. They were like, you would see there's so many places we need to go look for the athlete here in North Carolina.
The school is Edna Carr.
Edna Carr?
Yeah, in Louisiana.
Oh, that school. Okay. Well, we want to bring one to North Carolina.
And we've got the NASCAR here.
NASCAR, yeah.
And we know about Kinston, North Carolina, producing all those really good men's basketball players.
Yes, we talk about that. Kinston is
unbelievable.
The 252.
The 252 is unbelievable down there, man. That whole crew. Yeah. Kinston High School in general,
very blessed.
Yeah, exactly.
So if people want to get out and see this young talent before they become untouchable billionaires, invest in our youth sports. We really have some good things going here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Okay. So the big drop is the Knight Commission. And some people, if you're not familiar with the Knight Commission, this is this independent body of, it's basically people who have experience in sports, focused on college athletics. But you might recognize Len Elmore for those who follow North Carolina basketball, because he's one of our greats, played for University of Maryland.
Absolutely.
But this is a very, very important group that does research, does some analysis of college sports, and they dropped a public opinion poll. Basically, 1,500 U.S. adults, 18 and older, were interviewed from July 7th to July 11th. And basically what they found is that we know we've got a very interesting time in college sports, in particular Division I athletics. We've got legal, operational issues, whether or not college athletes should be classified as employees, whether or not D1 athletics should even be regulated from the federal level, because we have so many different laws in different states that are causing a lot of challenges for college administrators. But this poll asked Americans what their thoughts are on reshaping college sports. And I just want to highlight some of the points, see if you all agree, disagree, or any surprise. The first is there's no public consensus on college sports governance in terms of federal and state governments. About a third of Americans believe that the NCAA should primarily be responsible for regulating college sports. Only a third. And so to me, that speaks to the trust in the NCAA.
Right.
On the other side, just 6% of the public support the federal government assuming that role. So what do y'all think in terms of who should regulate college sports right now?
Well, we talked about this already. I said it last year. I said the NCAA in its present sense would no longer be around, in my opinion, particularly for the major sports that exist right now in NCAA. Particularly football and basketball. I think that's why they have no confidence in the NCAA continuing it to certain sports as well as the federal government. I'm looking at private entities, the Amazons, the Googles, kind of running those two major sports maybe, and all the other ones will fall under the NC2A, but the high generating revenue sports are going to be under something other than the NC2A or the federal government.
Right.
That's what
I think that's so scary. I mean, I think it's coming that way, but I just think that's so scary.
I think it's going to bring a lot of opportunity to the people that's participating.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be all about the money.
It's going to hard to have control. One thing NC2A does, and the only positive part about it, they do at some point have some kind of control,
right?
A governing type of entity over college sports, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold it, though. I think in the next 5 years, we're going to see something totally different.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt the money, the economics plays a big part of it. Mm-hmm. And the government historically has not done well in that sector, as in managing major operations where you have all these different, I guess you say, constituents or power players making moves. I see the private sector as well. Mm-hmm. And some people call it the non-USA model or the European model, where clubs, private entities and investors actually own the sport franchise, so to speak, and move the attachment away from the universities. Which brings me to the second point. There is overwhelming support for maintaining academic emphasis. 8 out of 10 Americans believe it is extremely or very important for college athletes to be enrolled as full-time students and graduate. Nearly 75% of Americans support the current rule requiring teams to be on track as an eligibility to graduate at least half their athletes to remain eligible for postseason competition. So if you're going to stay in the university setting, they must emphasize academics. Now, that in itself is very, very challenging. We see everything from academic scandals to coaches demanding players be in certain majors. The travel schedules are not conducive to being a student.
Right.
So the fans want more academics, but I don't know if this can be sustained.
Right, I agree, especially because it looks like, it's becoming a professional sport,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to maintain that. Look at the travel schedules of the new teams that join the ACC. Like, when can they be in class?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and then right now they have something called APR. That's going to go away because that's how you try to. That's how you measure the academic success of the players and the participants. But yeah. Oh no, it's going to be different, man.
So coming from a professor standpoint, Dr. Stroman, is that how frustrating is that? If to have a student but you can't, really
Oh, it's very frustrating. And being a former Division I athlete, I really understand the plight of the student athlete. But I know we get evaluated, right, by our peers and by students. And one of the criticisms that I received, not by many, but a handful of students, is they said that I favored the athletes in class. Now, I didn't favor them grade-wise and all that, but what I did do is build relationships with the college athletes, because it can be very, very lonely as a college athlete sitting in a room with your peers and being judged every moment. People doubting they don't even think you should be there.
Right.
For some of them.
Yeah.
They just feel, you're just taking somebody's slot. And there's no doubt you're stupid, right?
Yeah.
And so it's important for the college athletes to have a professor that believes in them and knows that they are bright and knows that they have a heavy lift by the demands of their sport. So it's really challenging as a professor who does not have that experience to try to be respectful and to give the athletes an opportunity to learn. You might have to do things a little differently, which are legal, right? But you have to, just like we compensate for the student who might have some type of disability, right? Mental. We provide note takers, we provide extra tutoring and all of that. But there are a lot of haters on college campuses around student athletes in the classroom.
Wow. That's
very,
great question.
very interesting.
Great question, great answer. I hadn't really thought about it that way. And I guess you being a former athlete, and they probably knew that.
Right.
They probably focused on you trying to show preferential treatment towards those individuals. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I remember getting side-eye looks from some students when an athlete comes up to me after class, and we might be talking about a game, we might be talking about his homework or her homework, we might be talking about the next lecture, and they're looking like, oh, she's giving them something that I'm not getting. And it's a lot of insecurity with some students in terms of being in the classroom next to an athlete.
Wow, that's pretty good. I'm about to cut this one and post this one. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
They say YouTube is saying you're speaking truth, Dr. Stroman.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Let's talk about women's sports. Americans show strong support for women's and collegiate Olympic sports and openness to federal funding for our collegiate Olympic sports. So nearly 40% of Americans believe that schools have not gone far enough in helping female athletes with equitable opportunities. Now, I'm kind of bummed that was only 40%.
Right.
You know?
That should be 99.3.
Thank you. 7% think schools have gone too far in helping female athletes. Now, clearly, they're just haters.
Right.
Nearly 7 in 10 Americans said that athletic opportunities in sports not tied to generating revenue, which we call Olympic sports, are important for universities to offer. So back to our point in terms of what the new model will look like, there are a lot of Americans really want us to continue with the other sports, as in football, basketball. We know they're going to get all the love.
Yep.
But a lot of Americans really want the other sports to continue to be offered by universities.
Yeah, I think that's what makes collegiate sports even just more attractive, because there are several different types of sports that individuals can be involved in. That's what makes it so great, in my opinion.
Well, those nearly 7 in 10 need to open up their wallets and their purses. Because right now, football's paying the bills for them. And then this is where you bring in the racial aspect of this. We've got young black men paying the bills for young white men and women, the country club sports.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, most Americans erroneously, as in got it wrong, most Americans, 81%, thought that the United States government provides funding for our Team USA development programs. It does not. It does not. Actually, our Olympic teams, that money is generated through Americans giving. So it's not our tax dollars. So a slight majority of Americans, 53%, support enacting a fee or a federal tax on sports gambling operators to create a national fund to support collegiate Olympic sports.
Wow.
So that would be interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. And a lot of Americans, nearly a half of American adults, favored using federal funds to help finance college sport programs. But they don't want federal government to regulate it and govern it. But they do want federal funds to help finance.
We just want your money. Don't tell us what to do.
We want that
with
paper.
It.
Yeah. We want that
give us
paper.
the
That's
money.
what we want. Yeah.
But overall, we want to win in the Olympics, and people feel that college is the pipeline to develop our athletes, and we need to fund it.
I agree.
The Knight Commission report, I asked people to take a look at it. There's still some other things to lift up here, but I'm glad we had a chance to chat about it.
Man, always. Chatting with you always enlighten. We learn something. Every time you come on, you tell us something that we didn't know, and we really appreciate it. Dishing up with D-Stroke. D-Stroke, we appreciate you.
Thank you so